Here's a big update in the Adani-Hindenburg row. The Supreme Court has directed the Securities and Exchange Board of India, or SEBI, to complete the investigation started by it within 2 months in the wake of the Hindenburg report on Adani Group. The court has also constituted an expert committee under the supervision of former top court judge Justice A.M. Sapre to review the market regulatory mechanism in the light of the Adani-Hindenburg controversy. Here are the members of this panel. You can see the names on your screen right now. This panel will essentially examine the causal factors leading to the entire episode, suggest measures to strengthen investors' awareness, and investigate whether there was a regulatory failure in the entire episode. The panel will also suggest measures to strengthen the statutory and regulatory framework and secure compliances within the existing framework for the protection of investors. This committee has also been asked to submit its report in a sealed cover to the court in 2 months. Now, during the hearing on Thursday, the bench noted that SEBI has already been inquiring into the matter as well as looking into the market activity immediately preceding and post the report's publication to ascertain if there were any kind of violations. So, therefore, SEBI has now been asked to file a status report before the court once it's done with its probe. The court has also expanded the scope of SEBI's investigation and asked it to determine if there was a violation of the securities contract regulation rules, whether there was a failure to disclose transactions with related parties, and if there was any manipulation of stock prices in contravention of the existing laws. Now, the controversy, as we know, relates to a report released on 24 January this year by Hindenburg Research titled Adani Group, How the World's Third Richest Man is Pulling the Largest Con in Corporate History. In the report, the New York-based short seller accused the Adani Group of engaging in, and I quote, brazen stock manipulation and accounting fraud scheme over the course of decades, unquote. Publication of the report resulted in the Adani Group's 7 listed companies losing over $110 billion in cumulative stock market value. Relying on its 2-year-long probe, Hindenburg Research said that it had evidence of various irregularities in the conglomerate's finances. It also accused the Adani Group of operating multiple shell companies, often offshore, and again I quote, to serve several functions including stock parking, manipulation, and laundering money through Adani's private companies onto the listed companies' balance sheets in order to maintain the appearance of financial health and solvency, unquote. In response, the conglomerate published a 413-page reply refuting the allegations and terming the report a, and I quote again, calculated attack on India, unquote. Now, Thursday's order was passed on a batch of at least 4 petitions on the Hindenburg Research report. So, for instance, one of the petitions was filed by serial PIL petitioner advocate M.L. Sharma, seeking directions to SEBI and the Ministry of Home Affairs to conduct an inquiry and register an FIR against the founder of Hindenburg Research, Nathan Anderson, and his associates in India. This petition also demanded that the act of short selling should be declared a fraud. The second petition was filed by advocate Vishal Tiwari, seeking the constitution of a committee headed by a retired Supreme Court judge to probe the allegations made in the report. This petition highlighted the fact that the publication of the report led to huge losses for various Indian investors. It also asserted that in the aftermath of the unprecedented attack on billionaire Gautam Adani's vast empire by Hindenburg, the market value of all 10 Adani stocks halved, leaving investors with a colossal loss of rupees 10 lakh crore. On 17 February, the Supreme Court had reserved its orders on these petitions on the composition and remit of a committee that it had intended to set up. That day, it had also turned down the centre's sealed cover nominees for a probe committee, asserting that the court will instead name its own panel, as it did on Thursday. At that time, on 17 Feb, Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud had then said that the court wants to maintain full transparency while constituting a committee, and that if it accepts the centre's sealed cover suggestions, it would give an impression that this is a government-appointed committee, which the Supreme Court has just accepted. So on Thursday, the court also noted the loss suffered by the investors in the past few weeks due to the steep decline of share prices of the Adani Group as a result of this research report. The committee appointed by the court now has to essentially provide an overall assessment of the situation, including relevant factors that led to the volatility in the market in the recent past. Meanwhile, after the Supreme Court order, Adani Group said truth would prevail. Group chairman Gautam Adani tweeted, and I quote, "The Adani Group welcomes the order of the Honorable Supreme Court. It will bring finality in a time-bound manner. Truth will prevail," unquote. That's all I have for you for now. This is Apoorva Mandhani for ThePrint. For more such videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.